Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for the poor quality of the video here. The webcam on my laptop apparently is not that great. I'm talking to you from my home office here, and first of all, I want to say thank you for your participation in the discussion forum. The posts were good, and they seem to get a lot of the issues at hand. I thought the chapter also was very good. It gave you a big, broad scope of the ideas behind opinion polling, and political participation. So the main questions seem to be for this chapter that we can talk about a bit here further on the discussion forum is, first of all, what kind of participation is healthy, and some of you got into this in your posts and your rejoinders, but the question that's raised in 7.3 in current debates is these two kinds of participation. One is duty-based participation, which involves voting, and it involves other kinds of behaviors like supportive parties and all that. The other one is engagement-based citizenship, which involves more volunteering. And younger people are more likely to get involved in engaged citizenship. And that means that they're less likely to be interested in political parties and candidates and issues. And the question is that okay? Is that healthy for democracy? Going along with that, then, is the question raised in 7.4 about slacktivism, also at the end of the chapter in By the People, which is the new participation landscape created by the internet. And that, on the one hand, there are more outlets, there are more ways to get involved. You can write a blog, you can write on Twitter or Facebook. There's all sorts of ways to get opinions out there. And that also means that the old gatekeepers, as they're sometimes called by their critics, especially, are less powerful in allowing people, or in regulating what kind of opinion is publicly available. So that can be seen as a good thing. There's more voices out there for people who felt like the mainstream ignored their perspectives. Well, they have more chance to read what they want to read, and also to try to get their opinions out there. The other side of it, scenario 2, as it's called at the end of the chapter, is that there's so much out there that it's impossible to know what to trust and what not to. That the journalistic standards, for example, of the Washington Post or the New York Times, while they're not perfect, are potentially better than a lot of the stuff out there where you don't know what the standards are, you don't know who's edited it, if anybody has, and that can be a problem. Also, people are much more able today, because of the variety of different outlets, to only read things or watch things or interact with things that are basically in agreement with them. And so what they see, it just amplifies their point of view. They don't get challenged by other points of view. And when they encounter them, this is my own thought, when we encounter other points of view, they're ridiculed. So if you're more on the right, you can see lots of stuff from the right in your social media feed, things that support Donald Trump or the Republicans or Ted Cruz or whatever. And when you interact with, when you see liberal opinions, they're mocked, right? And it goes the other way too. If you're more on the left, you can see lots of stuff critical of Donald Trump, lots of stuff critical of the Republicans, lots of stuff in favor of gun control or whatever. And when you see something from a conservative or libertarian perspective, it's to mock it, to show how ridiculous it is. That's the nightmare scenario, right? Now, if you go out and look for other things, then you can find a variety of perspectives. And so some people are much more thoughtful than that. Perhaps many of you are much more thoughtful than to just read things you agree with. But that is a does seem to be a problem in the larger culture, and it's not limited to young people, because this happens a lot with people of all ages who in a sense seclude themselves just with a media diet that mostly reinforces what they already believe. Okay, so those are two major questions about opinion and participation, and one of the major questions are these things healthy? Do we need people getting more involved in the voting, or in supporting political parties, getting involved in the political process, or is that engaged citizenship something different? And even from a more skeptical perspective of government, you might say, well, government can't solve everything. Why shouldn't people be getting involved in the voluntarism and doing things, activism outside of government? Maybe that'll help to take away politics as such a central focus, and we can think more about helping people, think more about getting to know people, doing things ourselves instead of waiting for the government to do it. So there's positives and negatives perhaps to any of these trends. So I'm interested to see what your ideas are on those issues. I'm going to post some questions as a follow-up to this video, and I will hope that you are all able to be there, and that I'm able to be there next Thursday. And I hope that if there's flooding in your home or your workplace, that can be cleaned up, and that the Iroquois County area can get past the difficulties, the destruction created by the flooding. I'm sure. So, thank you. I'll look forward to seeing you in the future.